is Thursday, May 14th, 2020, and you are tuned into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Super bummer last night. Unfortunate turn of events for Josh Boffman's West Texas Crude Nationals, that 360 show down in Texas that included USRA modifieds. They got through hot laps and just started sprint car qualifying when some rain started falling. They attempted to wait it out, but it was just too hard. Rain kept getting steadier, and they were forced to cancel the remainder of the night. It's a shame to see that happen. Hate that for the Boffmans and kind of the risk they took to put that event on and make something happen for the racers. So, I hope, obviously, and actually we're just going to talk about more here in a second, but it's it's a bummer in this current climate when you try to put a race on and then you get kind of knocked out by the weather. But in kind of talking about bad weather, the World of Outlaws announced yesterday the cancellation of their 3 upcoming late model shows for this weekend because of the weather. Both nights at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 that were supposed to be this Friday and Saturday, and the Monday show at US 36 Raceway are the 3 races affected. The next events on the schedule for the late model series are May 22nd through the 23rd at the Jackson Motorplex in Minnesota. For more information about the cancellations, including about what to do with your tickets to the canceled events, you can visit worldofoutlaws.com. So 2 events, actually more than 2 events, what was effectively 4 events, in a difficult climate have now been canceled because of the weather. So just goes to show you that if dirt racing is involved and the weather will be a factor, and there's not much we can do about it. So, but a shame to see those events. Obviously, there will be a ton more events coming, including tonight. Dirt on Dirt and Flow Racing is ready for another round of Thursday night super late model action. The Magnolia Mayhem 40 at Magnolia Motor Speedway in Mississippi is expected to draw a really stout field of drivers. I saw names like Billy Moyer, Jonathan Davenport, Cade Dillard, Ashton Winger, Michael Page, Rusty Schlenker among those expected to be in attendance. They will face a tough group of local and regional guys with $5,000 on the line tonight. Night will also feature a 500 to win late model sportsman race. Action gets underway with hot laps at 7:30 p.m. Eastern and can be watched live on Dirt or Flow Racing, as no spectators will be allowed. We will recap the action on tomorrow's show. I also saw, actually, while I was putting my show notes together, that there was a tweet from Chris Tilley, and then later confirmed by Dirt on Dirt, that there will be a Saturday night race this weekend at 411 Motor Speedway in Tennessee. They will also host a $5,000 to win 40-lap super late model show that will pay $400 to start. Super late models only, no support divisions. No fans will be allowed to attend this event either, but action can be watched live again on Dirt and Flow Racing. Michael Rigsby, man, that guy is really busy right now. He is, I would imagine, working the phones nonstop, trying to put some of these deals together. I even saw somebody tweeted last night that the sprint car world needs their own version of Michael Rigsby to be putting together some open wheel racing as well. But Rigsby actually even tweeted about this in kind of response that, don't be surprised to see him getting more involved in some open wheel stuff with his involvement now with Flow Racing, and all of the the sprint cars and midgets and things like that are a part of the Flow Racing package here. So really cool though to see those guys putting together some races, giving these late model racers an opportunity to go race and put on a show for the fans. And, I would imagine we'll probably see more of this going forward. And it seems like Rigsby and these Dirt on Dirt guys seem to like this Thursday night slot. So, he's tweeted about it in the past, but this might become a regular thing for those guys. But we'll just have to stay tuned for that one. More races have been confirmed for the upcoming USAC schedule. As announced yesterday that National Sprint Cars return on Sunday, June 14th at Tri-State Speedway. That will kick off 7 races in 8 nights in Indiana. Each race will allow spectators, but the tracks will be limited to 50% capacity. After Hobstadt, Indiana Midget Week will get underway on Tuesday, June 16th at Paragon Speedway. Midgets will then head to Gas City I-69 Speedway on Wednesday, June 17th, Lincoln Park Speedway on Thursday, June 18th, Bloomington Speedway on Friday, June 19th, Lawrenceburg Speedway on Saturday, June 20th, and they will close out the week on Sunday, June 21st at Kokomo Speedway. Each Indiana Midget Week race will also feature local sprint car racing. For more details on that, you can visit usacracing.com. Also yesterday, USAC announced the postponement of the Eastern Storm Series events originally scheduled for June. Certainty around the regulations for COVID-19 have left promoters at Grandview Speedway, Baps Motor Speedway, Port Royal Speedway, Williams Grove Speedway, Bridgeport Speedway, and Weedsport Speedway, all seeking future events, all seeking future event dates. You can find more details on the announcement at usacracing.com. Obviously, those 3 tracks are in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and still a lot is not known. And what we saw with the Sealands Grove situation here the last 2 weeks, those tracks just don't know what this future kind of looks like right now. So that's what forced that the postponement of those Eastern Storm events. And also in the Northeast yesterday, Weed Sport announced they have canceled all events in May and up through June 14th because of those issues regarding the state regulations. This includes the May 25th Super Dirt Car Series race, the June 7th USAC National Sprint Car race, and the June 14th All-Star Circuit of Champions race. So those events have all been wiped from the schedule. The track is hopeful they can return to action in July with the Super Dirt Car Series Hall of Fame 100 scheduled for July 26th. For more information on those cancellations, you can visit weedsportspeedway.com. So yeah, just more changes to schedules, and it's we've mentioned this before, but going to continue to be fluid. Races added, races taken away. So hopefully things can kind of start maybe normalizing. But in some of these places where there's been bigger outbreaks and more exposure to some of these things, I think you're going to see some of that thing, some of those schedules pushed back even further. And there've been some talks about states like California and when they could possibly reopen. So we'll keep you posted on all of that as we go forward. IMCA has announced a pair of events for tomorrow night, including Davenport Speedway and US 36 Raceway. Davenport will host 3 IMCA divisions, including modifieds, late models, and sport mods, with full points on the line. No spectators are allowed, and social distancing will be in effect for the teams. US 36 Raceway, again, in that Missouri area where some of the late model shows for this weekend were were canceled. US 36 says they are going to monitor the weather leading up to this tomorrow night, but hopes to run their program consisting of Sprint Series of Nebraska, IMCA Modifieds, and IMCA Stock Cars. The grandstands will be open for fans with social distancing in effect. If you'd like more information about those races, you can visit imca.com. I talked about the upcoming Great Lakes Shootout at Jackson Motorplex earlier in the week. This all of a sudden massive 410 sprint car race that's kind of popped up here this week. The track has announced a few event changes and the addition of more pre-registered drivers. That list of 410 sprint cars is now up to 75 cars, which is going to be insane. It includes 8 World of Outlaws regulars, 5 IRA regulars, 4 All-Star regulars, and also the likes of drivers like Brian Brown, the Madsons, Rico Abreu, Tim Kading, the Selzies, Kyle Larson, Casey Kane, Tony Stewart. There's Pennsylvania regulars in there. There's all kinds of drivers on this list. It will be pretty nuts this weekend at Jackson. Because of the demand of the 410 entries, the track has actually dropped the Race Saver sprint portion from Friday. They will make that event up later in the season. No spectators, again, allowed on the property, but you can watch all the action live Friday and Saturday on Speed Shift. It should be 2 really epic nights of racing. I think it's interesting that you're seeing just how starved I think for racing even the racers are at this point. To get a 410 show like this and to have so many cars coming from kind of all around the country to be able to participate in an event like this, I think you're seeing just how much these guys would like to get out and race, which I think is really great. But should be a good one. We talked about this earlier in the week, but this is obviously not an opportunity just to race, but an opportunity for them to get set up for that upcoming Jackson Nationals that pays $100,000 to win. So not a huge surprise to see car counts like this, especially with nothing else going on. But in terms of who you could look at to win an event like this, those Outlaw guys, Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, are certainly going to be at the top of that list. Brian Brown, kind of from the area, races in the area a lot. The Madsons, names like that are going to be those guys that are going to be at the top of that list. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like a Gio Selzy or Larson or something like that will kind of be up there as well. We can maybe take a look at some stats here from the past. I probably should have done that today before I talked about this, but some past Jackson Nationals or in Jackson Motorplex races to see kind of who we could expect to be at the top of that. I'll talk about that on the show tomorrow. I'll certainly add that to the list of things that we can talk about before the weekend gets rolling. That's the show for today. You can find DIRTRACKR Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe, leave me a review, tell your friends. You can also watch the show on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show every day at info@dirttracker.com, and you can follow along at facebook.com/dirttracker, twitter.com/dirttracker, and the website itself, dirttracker.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and don't forget to sign up for the DIRTRACKR weekly newsletter on the site. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow on DIRTRACKR Daily.